Hey everybody, it's Mr. Delusive here with the weekly Devblog. I've got not much to go through this week. I've done a bit, but it's all pretty much the one thing, and that's making new ships. And I've made a heap of ships, so I'll just go into it, show off that. I fixed the Mega Boss as well, so this is one of the new ones. So if we look here, like I've already been buying them as I was testing them, but the ones I've done so far, there's those existing ones, a lot more of the new ones. So as well, I've adjusted the prices. I think I went through it last week, but you know, the frigates are 5 times the hit points, etc. So yeah, the prices I've adjusted. Yesterday I made the frigates twice the amount of credits they were originally, and that's so there's a bit of a bigger jump between the fighters and frigates, and the same with the frigates and cruisers, because if you, well, that's still doing that. It's not I gotta fix that. There was one area that was doing it, but I thought I fixed it. So I'll just write that down. The ship by Hidden Rose. Alright, anyway. So yeah, like if you look, let's say here at the Aeonian. So this is a fighter. It has 160 hit points with 3 mount points. And if you go to the next one up, which is the first frigate, we see the jump in armor. So originally it was like half that, so it was 185,000. So for only 75,000 more, you get like the exact same with a heap more hit points. So I know like people playing it would be like, oh, let's skip the Aeonian, it's no point, we can go straight to the integrity. So that's pretty much why I've made the jump a bit bigger. And the same here. I think the Omen is the first. No, the Omen's a cruiser. Yeah, so here's the first cruiser, there's a jump there. Some other cruisers. This one's still a cruiser as well for 2.4 million. And then there's that jump even bigger from the cruiser to the battleships. So yeah, the Kairos is now 18 million credits. And they're pretty much, just going through them, they're pretty much all the ships I have now. I've almost finished all the Delsec ships because I've got now 10 fighters there. I've got, I think, 4 frigates, so I've got 1 more frigate to do. And then I've got 3 cruisers, and I want to get that to 8, so I've got 5 cruisers and 2 more battleships to do for Delsec, and then that's Delsec done. I'll do the same for the other gone blank. But yeah, and then after that, all I'll have to do is make the transport vessels. So like the Confidence is the kind of a fighter sized transport vessel, and then I'll do a cruiser size one and a battleship size one. So like the cruiser size one would probably have like 300 cargo capacity, and the battleship one maybe 1,000 to 1,500. And then there's going to be on Griffin a whole bunch of transport vessels. So yeah, there's going to be by the end over 140 ships, and that's what's taking the longest. I mean, yeah, like this week I've done just that. I fixed this. This was early. And this is just turn that down so I could talk. So the next thing I have to do as well is rebalance the guns into their classes as well. Same with the engines, because I better move that. Yeah, because what I'm going to do is, obviously the battleships will start with battleship type weapons and do their decent chunk of damage. Like this one is a cruiser, I think I put it. Or a frigate. I think this one's a frigate. This one might be the upper end frigate. If I see the health again, I'll know. But yeah, so at the moment all the ships are starting with the weak guns. But when I fix that, they'll start with the proper... Yeah, this is a frigate. So yeah, they'll start with their proper level guns and engines. So another thing I'm going to adjust when I've probably worked on all the ships, or maybe halfway through, I'm going to adjust the masses. So the battleships and cruisers and stuff, they're going to be a lot heavier. So having the engines that are on there at the moment, are barely going to move them, but that's not going to be their starting engines anyway. So it's just to have, yeah, a bigger range of mass. What the? Why the hell did that sound play? So yeah, and that'll be, like the bigger differences in mass. So you can't really put a fighter engine on a battleship, it won't barely move, and then if you put a battleship engine on a fighter, it'll be way too hard to control. So they're gonna be options to have, but yeah, like it's gonna make it hard to play the game that way. But yeah, for reasons people want to do it, they can. And that's that. And this is running the game now at the 1080. So as you can see, this fight, this is how it will appear for most people, with this mega boss appearing, covering the entire screen. So the last video you saw it at the Ultra HD, but yeah, not everyone will see it like that. This is probably the better way, and it makes it harder because there's less space to move around. So it might take a while. I don't know why that sound played. There we go. And as you can see, it's not crashing even though I have the sound down. It'll still go to play those sounds. But yeah, we just can't hear it. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I think I've done something else, I can't remember. But all I know is I've spent most of my time on making those ships, and yeah, made a good chunk, because I'd average around, a ship takes me 2 to 3 hours from drawing it, creating it from scratch, to doing all the code in the game for it, and then testing it. Yeah, I'd say around 3 hours per ship. So that takes up a good chunk. And I think I have like probably 80 or so ships to go. So I'd say I've done around 60. And yeah, 80 ships, if you estimate 3 hours per ship, maybe a bit less for some, I'd say around 200 to 240 hours it's going to take me total. So maybe 5 weeks, I hope not, if I average 40 hours a week. Yeah, but hopefully I can get that done quicker. I mean, I did take some shortcuts with the Deus Ex Fate series. Like, I just kind of morphed together a few other ships if I can go back into it, if this one's docked at Delusia 1. So yeah, like if you notice the Fatebringer and the, which is the other one? Yeah, the Veracity. So if you look at those two designs, that one here and the Veracity, and then you look at the Fate Bender, you can see I've combined them, and as well another one. And then you go to the Fate Breaker and I've done even more combining. So it kind of saved a lot of time there. And it makes sense, like, I thought, you know, the hulls would look similar and everything, so I might be doing that more with the remaining Delsec ships. I mean, because I reckon you look at this and it looks so much more detailed compared to the Seraphim. I mean, that shape looks a bit weird, and I guess the Kairos looks detailed enough, but yeah. So hopefully, I mean, at the end of the day, if I could replace anything, it would be these, my art in the ships. So yeah, they're like my least favorite thing in the game, I think. But you know, they're not too bad. Some of them. Just some look a bit crap. But you know, I guess as the game progresses, I can maybe change a few and do what I have to do. So yeah, like that's pretty much everything I had to show off, and especially for the next few weeks, it's just going to be that. Yeah, guys, I might make a few videos. One to do just a gameplay run from the start to that boss fight, just to show it off in a video and put that one on IndieDB as well, maybe just a brief gameplay video. But there's still a lot I want to add before doing gameplay videos and that. I mean, I still have to do the missions and everything. Like, I still haven't touched it. There's only Welcome to Delusia and Welcome to Delusia 2 missions. And yeah, like, I was actually thinking about it last night with the missions, and I'm gonna add and it'll appear in the character info screen, a kind of a loyalty, a loyalty thing for each faction. And that's kind of, so you'll have, the more you do missions with Delsec, you'll gain Delsec loyalty. Maybe your loyalty with Vipersec and Rainer will drop, and so on, until you get maximum loyalty. And then things like prices can be adjusted based on loyalty. There could be, you know, access to the bigger ships after a certain loyalty. But yeah, like, this is all things I'm working through at the moment. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be adding this loyalty meter for each faction now. I mean, the old web game I had with the five corporations, which these ones are, the ones in these games are based off, they had also, like, it was like a control thing. So the more you bought in that game, you bought crawlers, and the more crawlers you had, they kind of generated chunks in the internet. So you had to get like one of the factions to own the internet by controlling all the chunks in the internet. And then depending on that, you'd get a certain ending. So I want to kind of go down that same approach with this, except not that control, it'll be loyalty. And yeah, so you know, you get to maximum loyalty, you get access to, on Delsec, you get access to the late game Delsec missions maybe, or you do it for Vipersec, and then yeah, like that's pretty much, I think, how Freelancer handled it as well. But yeah, and that'll open will pave the way for the storyline, that it doesn't have to be too linear. Like, you don't have to just stay with Delsec. So yeah, we'll see where the game goes with that. End of the day, that's what I wanted to do. Have it so the player can choose what faction they want to align with, and pick what faction suits their beliefs or whatever, or play style, and then have the ending. And that's why the game's called Lords of Delusia, because whichever faction you go with, the ending will be who controls Delusia. And why do people want to control Delusia is, some crap like he's probably got the best resources or something. I don't know. I still got to do the storyline. So yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, this next one's, it's changing these engines, working on more specials and shields, guns. I probably should be finishing those things before the ships, but I want to finish all the ships first anyway, and then I'll do all the items, and then I'll rebalance the ships because I know I'll need to anyway. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. That's what I'll be doing, and hopefully see you next week.